Good morning. Let's start our intro. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong video, but good morning. Today's Saturday.
Good morning.
Morning.
January 9th, 2021. We're here with Samantha from One Michigan. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Good. Good. So you took the beanie off, so now you're indoors. It's not as cold. Is it cold in Michigan right now anyways? I forgot to ask Alex. Is it cold in Michigan?
Not for me right now. It's actually, like I said, it's beautiful out right now.
I know you said you got your window open.
It's like 30. Well, in January in Detroit, 30 degree. In Michigan, when it's 30 something degrees, I mean that's a nice day and it's sunny.
She's shaking her head now.
No.
I'm a sweater a little bit, so I mean
he's a sweater.
I'm good.
He sweats on the top lip. So tell me a little bit about One Michigan. I know you said you're a product of Southwest Detroit. Moved or actually went to college at the University of Texas. Got your education, came back, started I guess you said it was already in place. Took over One Michigan and been there ever since. So tell me a little bit about One Michigan.
So One Michigan actually started as One Michigan for Immigrant Youth.
Okay.
We've changed the name several times because we started getting older and we couldn't claim the youth anymore.
Okay.
So that's how we switched to One Michigan for Immigrant Rights. It started over 10 years ago now by undocumented youth. It is the only undocumented-led organization here in the Metro Detroit area. And basically, we work on anything our community comes to us and says they need, whether it's policies, it's state, federal, local policies. We work on it. We also give out a lot of services. We gave out over $200,000 in cash this year.
What? Not to cut you off, but what type of services do you offer?
We help with primarily DACA, Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, the applications, any kind of questions that people have around that. We also help with the I-10. So if undocumented people want to work, and a lot of people have this misconception that undocumented people don't pay taxes, but that's not true. They can actually get an I-10 and pay their taxes as well.
It's kind of hard to get away from that, you know. So
yeah,
I don't know why anyone would think that, but okay.
Yeah, these far-right conservatives come up with these crazy things. But yeah, we also work with a lot of youth, providing leadership training, resume building, social media skills.
That's awesome right there. That's good stuff right there. Just the resume and social media alone is amazing.
Yeah.
So all the services you offer, so I know you do youth programs. How much money did you guys raise in 2020?
Whoa. 2020 was our biggest year. I would say we got anywhere between 250,000.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was our biggest year. Trust me. The year before we had less than 50,000 in the bank.
Wow. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Okay.
What a
and
big
then I
boost.
know we talked up there, and you said you're giving it out to so many different families in need.
Yeah.
How much? I know you say 250. Of course, you know you guys have a budget. So how much did go to families in need? I know you said 50.
Of the cash directly, it was around 202 families. For the COVID care packages, so far it's been about 500, a little over 500 people for the COVID care packages, and then about over 300 families for diapers. We also did diaper giveaways.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. And then you guys did I think you did a toy drive, correct?
Oh yeah, the toy drive. 1,340 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, all from the Southwest Detroit area.
Awesome.
So some of the services you guys offer that you guys help in the from A to Z. If someone comes to you and says, "Look, I'm here, not illegally, but I'm here. I got my whatever green card. I'm here temporary. I need to get so I am a citizen." Do you help in that process from step one to the end?
So it depends on where they are in the process. Immigration is so complex, and there's
Okay.
different avenues for each person. So if it's something for DACA and it's something that is easier, meaning like they don't have a misdemeanor, they don't have a felony, that's something that we can help from like start to finish. If it's something that's a little more complicated, we do partner with Michigan Immigrant Rights Center, which is called MERC, and they have immigration attorneys like on deck. We've also partnered with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib. Her office has written like recommendations for folks with immigration cases and things like that. So we network depending on what it is.
Okay. Okay. So you try to either help these people or direct them in the right direction.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the youth program, because you're saying you started as a youth program. So what do you do? What, of course, 2020, of course, because of COVID. What was some of the different things you did with the youth in 2019, and hopefully when COVID is lifted, what is your plans of doing it in the future?
So prior to COVID, we did half job readiness skills and then half
Okay.
community organizing. Our
Okay.
roots are with community organizing, so we always like to teach leadership skills and how to advocate for yourself as a youth, whatever you're doing, whether it's job, schooling, whatever it may be. During COVID, we had to switch up our curriculum a lot. So what we decided to do, instead of as much job readiness, we did social media management, which is something that a lot of people were looking for, a lot of restaurants and things like that.
Right.
We decided to teach our youth that, so that way they could be competitive in that job field. And hopefully in the future, we do a lot of bonding things with our youth. We're very particular about how many we take. We don't take on more than 40 youth. Usually I like to keep it between 20 and 30 because we give a lot of individual attention. Like once you're in our program, you're in our program forever.
Right.
We'll help you with scholarships. We'll write recommendation letters for you. We'll help you with jobs. So yeah, so we try to keep it small. We like to do a lot of like building activities. We take the youth to like camping trips. We've taken them to DC every year. Last year was the first year we weren't able to make it because of the pandemic, but yeah, we do a lot of one-on-one things.
It's a lot of positivity, you know, a lot of motivation, and just you know, that's where it starts. That's awesome.
Yeah.
With the social media management, you know, I work for a branding and marketing agency, and the type of things that I've learned in the past like year and a half I've been part of it is like just blowing me away. You know, I went on speaking engagements with my boss, with the owner of the agency and everything, and yeah, so like just like I said, that alone is like, because you know I always like to say social media is not for everyone.
Yeah, it's
and you got to know how to utilize it, especially if you're you're an entrepreneur, you're whatever you're involved in. If you want to, this is the world we live in now. So if you want to build your brand, or just whatever it is you're doing, there's a way to do it, and it's good to be able to to have that option and stuff like that. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, my master's is in communication, so I did a lot of studying with social media management and marketing.
Right.
So I get a question, because I know we talked off air. You said you've of course none of the craziness that has been going on in Washington with the violent protests, but you've done some protests. You've been targeted a couple times from the government because of maybe they didn't like what you were doing. Tell me a little bit about some protests that you've done for the organization. I know you said you did, I think you said South Dakota you went for, or to
North
protest a pipe. So tell me a little bit about that. And and was that involved in? Is that something because of the organization, or is that something outside, and that's your personal thing?
So because of the organization, I was mentored and I was taught how to do direct action training, which means we don't just throw people into protests, we actually prepare them. So all of our youth that go to any protest with us, they've been to a training to know what is expected. What is
Like-
the best outcome? What is the worst outcome?
Like
so
how to conduct yourself type things, or no,
not
or not so
even
much
just
that.
how to conduct yourself, but also on how to prepare yourself. So like
Okay.
we have done protests where we're going to get arrested. That's the goal.
Right.
To shed light on an issue.
Right.
And then there are protests that we go to where we're like, listen, we just don't have bail money. Nobody better get arrested. So this
Right,
is
right.
this is how we're gonna act.
Okay, okay.
But any protest you go to, there's a possibility that you're gonna get arrested, especially with the police and how they've been
course.
acting now.
Right.
So we actually prepare our folks. We handcuff them. We go through the entire process. So that way, if it happens, they don't break down and they're not,
Right,
you know,
right,
they're
right.
not in shock. So
Right.
that's actually why I went to North Dakota. I was asked to go and to give those trainings to the people that were protesting the pipeline. I don't go anywhere unless I'm invited, unless I'm asked to go. I don't like to kind of insert myself into anything. I went with 3 of our youth at the time. It was 2 young women and 1 young man, 15, 17, and 19. So the 4 of us went out there to train together. And it turned out to be really crazy. One of the craziest things I've ever done.
Right.
I went
Right.
for 10 days and stayed 2 months.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. So I know you said that some people you help, you go to different cities and you help organize because you know what I mean, they kind of tap you as a resource. How is that? How does that work? So I mean, somebody from, let's say another Latino community, somebody from Houston, do they reach out and say, hey, you know, we like what you're doing and can you come down and help us kind of organize or reorganize or restructure our organization, or we need your help on this rally? I mean, tell me a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, so funny that you mentioned Houston. We work in Houston a lot. When Hurricane Harvey hit in 2000, was that 17 or 18? We got reached out by like some women that were just trying to help in their communities, and they were like, look, I've heard of you. You do a lot of organizing with people. Like, can you help us organize our stuff? So a lot of the thing is when like a big crisis hits, money comes flowing in. And that's a good thing, but it's also can be very overwhelming. And
Correct.
especially for Black, Indigenous people of color, we always feel like this huge responsibility that we have to show every receipt to the penny because we don't want to be accused of stealing money, of doing something wrong.
You don't want to deal with the government.
Yeah, or even just like white people telling them like, oh, look, they bought this, you know, they bought a Happy Meal. They've been working 14 hours straight. But look, they bought that cheeseburger and they shouldn't have eaten that. Like, so that's usually what I get called out. Yeah, and I'll either do consultations like this, like Zoom, or I'll fly in. Pre-pandemic, most of the time I would fly in because it's just really easy. It's easier to talk person to person.
Right.
And
that's the best way.
Yeah, just kind of organize them. I usually end up working with them pretty much forever. Like,
right.
I worked with a woman out of
so
Alabama.
you building relationships. I mean, that's what it's about, you know.
Yep, and it's primarily women that I work with most of the time. Women that just want to make a difference. A lot of moms that just want to better their communities.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's great stuff.
I know that you know, you were saying the scrutiny or whatever, you got to be careful and stuff like that about what you spend. You know, it could be overwhelming if they get, you know, X amount of dollars from the government and stuff. So do you help them allocate that money, or you help them structure so they are spending it wisely and you know, converting it into, I guess, maybe the right system, or, you know, basically saying, hey, this is allocated to the youth, or this is allocated to this program. I mean, do you help them write that or figure that out, or how does that work?
So I ask them what they want to do, like what kind of system, like, and
I don't mean to interrupt you, but should you charge them like a freelance fee, or do you charge them some type of a fee or counseling fee? Okay, sorry about
So
that.
it's a free consultation,
Okay,
like you said.
sorry.
Yeah, everything we do is free. The most I'll ask them is if they can provide housing.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be like a hotel or anything, but
Right.
if you can just like put me in a bed. Depending on like how long I'm gonna be there.
Right.
Sometimes I'll fundraise, like I'll go online and I'll tell people like, hey, I'm going to South Louisiana to help with the detention center. Can anybody throw in some money for gas or a flight ticket?
Right.
I
Or a
try
happy meal. Or a happy meal. No,
yeah,
I'm
pretty
just
much.
playing.
Pretty much.
For
Yeah.
lunch.
So I try
But
to do
right, I hear you.
everything online so the burden is not on them because they're
Right.
already doing so much work.
Right.
Understandable.
So yeah, so I don't really try to do that. The most I'll do is if there's a university nearby. Universities get money. A lot of students don't know this, but you can go to like your dean. Let's say you're in political science. You can go to the dean of poli-sci and say, I want a guest speaker to come in, and they have money
Oh
for that.
wow. Okay.
So they can actually pay you $500, $700, $1,000 stipend.
Right.
And sometimes I'll do that. And I'll be like, look, get your university to pay me, and then I'll do everything you guys need for free. And I'll
Right.
get the university for one day.
Okay.
So yeah, we finesse the system, however we can so
Make it
that
work, right.
yeah, we can get out there.
Right. Okay. No, I was just wondering how that works, because I mean that's amazing that that other organizations are basically helping you, or not helping you, but tapping in, saying, hey, you know what, can you come and help our organization do this or organize or whatever. So when I know we talked, but when you did do the nonviolent protest about the pipe in North Dakota, did the government not necessarily come after you, but did government knocking on your door? Is it because
Excuse me.
they felt that you were interfering, or just because they just didn't like you speaking out because it was on Native American land? Tell me a little bit about that and why you went there, and kind of can you kind of elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I mean, to start off, I mean, this whole country was founded on stolen land, right? Indigenous
Right.
murdered land. So the government system was set up to oppress all Black Indigenous people of color. So what happened in Standing Rock was one of the biggest protests we've ever had here in the United States. And there was a lot of infiltration. So there was a company called Tiger Swan that was actually hired by the government to come in and to infiltrate and to either eliminate or neutralize the protesters. And the way they did that is they sent undercovers in to get to know people and to try to disrupt however they could. What we
Okay.
discovered they started doing is they started to actually put call outs to well-known activists to come to North Dakota so that they could study them and they could try to, again, neutralize them. So I was a part of one of that. I was one of the ones that was called to give a training. And I believe I was targeted because I participated in 2013 in a protest called Bring Them Home, where we
Okay.
actually brought people that were previously deported back to the United States. That was one of the first protests that was ever done. We did it 3 times. And this was actually done during the Obama administration. We made that administration look horrible.
Wow.
And after that, I was constantly targeted. So when I was brought to North Dakota, I feel like it was definitely a setup. It was definitely a way to try to see how my trainings go, how to see how my head works. And it was a lot of following afterwards. We had like the FBI come join force with the Department of Homeland Security. They went to my cousin's house. They were asking questions about me. I've had FBI go to my grandmother's house, my best friend's houses. Called my phone like
that's
several
crazy.
times.
Do you still deal with things like that? Is like to that level still, or no?
Yeah, so every once in a while it'll still pop up. I have a person that deals with technology, so we see all of my stuff now. because my stuff does get heavily monitored.
Right.
A lot of the times my Facebook gets shut down or just won't work or won't tell people when I do live.
Oh my God. It sounds like Zetterberg is doing a Trump on you.
Yeah, actually, and for my master's degree, I actually looked into how Facebook operates.
Right.
And Facebook actually has contracts with the government in its different countries, and they suppress activists. Like they found evidence that this does happen. And when I read that, I felt so much better because everybody always told me I was paranoid. They're like, "No, it's not doing that." I was like, I went from having like 10,000 viewers to like 500. Like something's going on.
Nobody's fooled no more. We're not
So
stupid. You know what I mean?
Since we brought it up, and I want to play devil's advocate, but what is your thoughts of the censorship? Even though Trump is just totally out there, what is your thoughts of them basically banning him from Facebook and Instagram for life?
No, not Twitter.
And Twitter, they shut him down. They turned him back on. They turned him, and then they shut him down. What is your thoughts? I mean, of course, definitely, it's some type of censorship, but of course, they want him. They don't want him to start any craziness. But what is your thoughts? I mean, from being someone like you that has been targeted from the government or has been your account been shut down. I mean, what is your thoughts of that? I mean, let's take Trump out of the situation, but as Facebook would shut you down, do you think that's fair, or do you think they just tell me what's your thoughts of that? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to word that.
No, I mean, it's fine. Like, what I try to think of is I don't really try to think in a colonial perspective. I try to think from like my ancestors, and I try to get away from that colonial mindset of what is fair, what is like censorship, and trying to not really use the definition of like white supremacy and go with more like what is my intuition and what do my ancestors say. And I have been banned from Facebook plenty of times, 30-day bans. Usually when I
have too. I have too, but mine is always not because of you. But I mean, it's not because of what you do or what Trump does. Mine's just because I'm just being goofy. But go ahead.
Mine was like literally when I went to Houston to help out after the hurricane, I was banned for 30 days right when I got there. When I was in Mexico on the border helping refugees come back, as soon as I got there, 30-day ban. Like every time I do something
how ironic, huh?
And I mean, what I have to do is I have to get on the ground and I have to talk to people one-on-one. I have to make a burner account. Like I have to do whatever I have to do. So I mean, like shit, Trump is no different. Like damn, like all of us have to find a way around it. So do either find a way around it or go try and leave. Like that's that. I don't feel bad for him. I definitely think he should be banned from all of those platforms. He's very dangerous for our country. He's not a regular human being. He's not a regular
he's like a social media bully. And I don't understand why people don't at least see the bad in that.
He should have been banned.
You know what I mean?
To be completely honest.
Right. Like, I have
and killed.
Right. Like I have family and friends that are big Trump supporters, and like my closest family are all Trump supporters, and that's fine. I mean, you can like whoever you like, and I just the other things are just like, like I know my family, they're beautiful people inside and out. So it's like, well, how come you don't see? And maybe they do, but like the social media thing. I mean, like he could send out a tweet or whatever, a post on whatever damn platform, and it could affect your child. So I mean, like, not yours, but I mean, like people in general.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why people don't see that. Like, it's bad. He's being negative, so like, but other than that, yeah, I mean.
So let me ask you a question. Let me go deeper. So of course, like I said, I've been banned for violating community standards, whatever the case may be, not because of the government or whatever.
You get put in Facebook.
I make funny memes. I post funny memes, and I always say, where do I get them from? I get them from social media. So why are you banning me?
Right.
I've been banned 30 days. I've been banned, so many times. But so here's the case. So now that Facebook, and I don't know when they started this, but now that if you make a Facebook fake account or a dummy account, or, like you said, hey, a burner account, I saw, the last night I posted or whatever. Trump was making a fake account, and that was kind of fake, but it was a fake account. It said John Byron or whatever tweet.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing out there? You know, what's everybody up to? But so now Facebook is doing where they want you to verify your account, send an ID in, take a picture. How do you feel about that? I feel like that's overstepping
made me get off
Facebook of what it was originally meant for. Like, I think now they're saying now they're violating. I feel like they're violating my rights. Why do we need to have that information out there? You know what I mean? Like, is there enough information out there? You know, now we're going to have to upload our ID. So Facebook says, okay, this is a valid account. I mean, what is your thoughts on that? Because like I said, you know, people are making fake accounts, but maybe not a fake account. Maybe you want to account for your family, an account for your friend, account for whatever the case may be. Why do you have to validate it? So, I mean, I think this is another part of censorship. You know what I mean? Like, I just think Facebook is going too far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There are different Facebook rules in Canada versus the United States.
Okay.
Canada actually values privacy a lot more than the United States does, and actually fought for it. So they took Facebook to court and they sued them. So their privacy laws are a lot stricter than what we have here in the United States.
Okay.
I definitely believe that they're going too far with the whole uploading. I'm softly okay with sometimes like giving you like a little timeout in Facebook, you know, jail, whatever. But I think Facebook is just, they have so much money and they're just so lazy. They don't want to hire people to actually like have that one-on-one conversation, like, you know, to see like, okay, I said, you know, whatever, I mentioned the word white. And it's not even in a negative way. And they're like, this violates community standards. You can be, you know, whatever. So like, if they're gonna be so big, like they need to invest the money into like making this a better platform and not making it stricter on us. Like the burden shouldn't be on the people, it should be on them. And people should be able to have multiple accounts, like you said, for your family, your professional, your friends, like
whatever
you want.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Right. I just, like I said, I just think that they're going too far. Now, let me play a little bit of devil's advocate. So I understand sometimes their thought process on this, because let's say you're getting bullied or getting threatened. They want to know who that person is. I get that. But you know what I mean? Like, so let's say somebody makes a fake account to bully somebody or threaten somebody. I get that. But I'm not making a fake account to bully somebody or threaten somebody. I'm making a fake account because I'm banned because I can't upload a meme. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
But it's so funny, the double standard they have, because if you're making an account to bully somebody, threaten somebody, you have those parameters where that account should just get blocked, shut down, or grounded. And sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, we're in charge of what we want to do and want to listen to and read and look at. I mean, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, I mean, I would like, you know, that's up 50-50. I mean, like, but I agree with you as far as like having accounts, but I think there should be like a limit, like maybe 3 accounts. I don't know, because that's just ridiculous for anyone to have any more really than 3. In my opinion,
I got 5. So okay,
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous still. I don't care. I mean, like, you know, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I mean, because if there is people out there making accounts that just, I mean, they have no time. I mean, they have nothing else to do in their lives. I just don't see what the point is to have all those accounts, unless you are, you know, you're doing something business wise or something like that. But whatever, that's your prerogative. Once again, you know,
5 accounts.
That's where that comes into play. Yeah, that's wow. I'll go crazy.
So I only use actively too, but I do have.
Okay, I was like, I have a hard time keeping up with my both accounts.
Right.
Well, I see that you post on both accounts. So is it you just do it? You created another account because you know, the government gave you a 30-day ban?
Yeah. So the first time they gave me a ban, I didn't do it. People kept telling me. The second time I got the 30-day ban, I also didn't. It was on the third time when I was working in Mexico. I was helping refugees that were trying to get asylum. They were stuck on the border in Nuevo Progreso. and I needed money. I needed money to come in. I needed to get food. I needed to get medicine, and I got a 30-day ban. And so I was like, screw it. I'm going to make another account. And what I found when I made the second account is I have about 1,300 difference. So I have 1,300 on the new account that I don't have on the old account. So it just ended up where I'm like, I have to post on both because that's a really big margin for me to not just leave them alone.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah, I get it. So I know you said, so you got this, you got the ban possibly because, they were inquiring about what you were doing there. And I think Alex said, so you said you still are getting some type of blowback from this day. When did that happen with the pipe?
That was in 2016. I went there in November, and then I left in January 2017. Well, February 2017.
So 4 years later, still getting a little bit of blowback. Okay. So in 2021, hopefully COVID kind of, I guess, hopefully the vaccine helps. And I don't know if we would ever go back to normal, but some type of normalcy. What is your guys? I mean, do you guys have like a 5-year plan for your organization? What is your guys' thoughts process in the next 5 years?
Well, hopefully in the next 5 years, I can identify a successor. So I was very intentional. A lot of nonprofits have leaders in place for like decades, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I was very intentional when we were setting up our bylaws to put that an executive director cannot stay in the position longer than 10 years.
Okay.
And after 7 years, they have to name a co-director. And then for the remaining years, those two work together. So that way they can. So that's my plan, is to hopefully find somebody. We want to finish paying off our building that we purchased in 2020 and hopefully go national. We really want to have chapters in every single state. I believe we have the best youth leadership model. I've literally traveled across the country. I've gone to a lot of different places. And when they meet our youth, people are always impressed. And they're always asking me, they're like, how do you get your youth? Because our youth, they're not on a script. Like right now, they're downstairs and they're giving out COVID care packages. And I'm up here.
Wow.
They're doing it by themselves. The oldest one that's there right now is 21. We have 14 to 21 downstairs. Okay. So they handle their own thing. So I'd really like to really replicate that model and have it across the country, because I think that's where our future is. It's the youth.
Right. Of course.
And I know we talked off air about you originally got a government status of nonprofit organization, correct? So congratulations on that. I think that's great. I think you guys are doing awesome stuff in Southwest Detroit. So I think that's pretty much it. We're going to jump into politics. I definitely would love you to stay on. So tell us where your, tell us your social media handle. Tell us where your organization's at, and basically just direct people if they need to come out and you can help them out.
Awesome. So yeah, on social media, you can find us spelled out ONE 1 Michigan for immigrant rights, or you can do / ONE Michigan. You can also go to the #1michigan.org, and that's our website. We have Instagram as well, which is 1 Michigan, the #1 Michigan. Twitter is 1 Michigan as well. And then you can find me, Samantha Magdaleno. There's two of them, so whichever one you want to add, follow them both.
Only 2? There's not 5? Only 2?
Yeah, no,
I'm joking.
But yeah, that's how you can find us. Cool. info@onemichigan.org. If you have any questions and you want to get your youth in our program, we're always welcoming more youth in. We have them all year round. They don't leave. So yeah.
Awesome.
So like I said, let's jump into politics. So what is your thoughts of a couple days ago, protesters, which it was going to be pretty much nonviolent, and then they stormed the Capitol. What's your thoughts of that when you've seen that on TV, as a Latina, seeing this craziness? What was your thoughts?
I was laughing. To be honest,
wow, I didn't expect that answer.
The first thing I saw was like these white people scaling the wall,
Right.
So I was just like, oh, how ironic is this? I was like,
right.
y'all spent all this money. I worked in the valley
Okay.
where they were putting
Now
up the wall.
now I can see why you were laughing. Okay.
And I was just like, wow. I was like, walls don't keep people out. That's what you're saying.
Right. That is crazy though, because when I seen that too, I thought about that, and I even told my mother, I said, "Wow, build the wall, huh? Okay, well, like
all of us were on that.
that is
So
hilarious. That is
let me go
hilarious.
deeper. So is that white privilege? And I hate to say that, but is that white privilege?
Oh yeah,
Because there was, I mean, I know they killed the one girl, the 14-year-old or the 14-year veteran military woman. But I mean, if blacks and Latinos were storming the Capitol, would they have been killed?
well, they wouldn't have gotten to the like second step. Like they wouldn't.
Right.
One of my first big protests was in 2012, actually in DC, actually at the Capitol, and there was just like guards all like they wouldn't even let us get to the steps. As soon as we got on the step, get down, and like started screaming at us. So I mean, in North Dakota, we were shot at and we didn't have any weapons.
Damn.
We literally had no weapons at all. I remember like it was devastating. There was old elders with their hands up praying.
Wow.
And these military officers, our National Guard, blasting them with water cannons in 25-degree weather.
Oh my God.
And they were on a bridge. They weren't at the Capitol. They were on a bridge that nobody was on. This bridge was actually barricaded off. Like the police had cut it off. You couldn't go forward. And they had like these cannons, and they were shooting at us, bean bags. One of my friends, Susie, she actually lost her eye. They shot her eye out. And again, this is all with no weapons. We had no weapons. We were not destroying property. We were not, breaking into somewhere. We were on a public highway, 1806 in North Dakota. So that was definitely white privilege.
That had to be very, very scary right there.
Yeah, I mean, when you see people like posing, like stealing a podium and they're posing, like that's white privilege. Like any protest I've done, like my face is covered, like to the max. And especially if I'm doing stuff that like is necessary to help my people out that I know they're gonna say is wrong or try to twist, I'm all the way covered.
So I mean, I think I'm pretty much of a proud American. But as I see some of these photos, this guy putting his feet on Nancy's desk, still in the podium. There's somebody at McConnell's, at the majority's desk, and just craziness. How disrespectful is that? As you see, I see it very disrespectful. Even though I maybe not support Nancy's craziness, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be. I mean, how crazy is that as a citizen to go in there and just make a mockery of our democracy?
Right.
I mean, I think it really highlights the issue of our government as a whole. I'm definitely not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either. Both of the parties have screwed over the American people. I'm hoping that these people can understand that we might not see eye to eye on every single issue, but as a whole, the 1% is screwing over the rest of us.
Right.
So sometimes we need to set aside these petty differences of who was born here at the right time, who was not born here at the wrong time, whatever. And we need to understand that like this government's killing us and they're not providing what they should for us. So we really should be all working together.
Yeah, and that's why it's never gonna work.
Yeah, and just because you're in the government, you shouldn't get a free pass. So like honestly, when I seen these representatives finally getting smacked in the face that our people are pissed off, I didn't feel sorry for them. I didn't feel sorry for them at all, because I'm like, you pass these policies that lead to our people killing one another out of necessity. We don't do this because we're evil. We rob because we're hungry. We steal because we don't have food. We don't have what we need. We're not getting educated. Our parents are not home because they're working 60, 80, 120 hours a week.
Right.
This
is two or 3, 4 jobs.
Exactly. This is why we do these things. And you pass these damn policies, like here in Detroit, we're the only city that can have uncertified teachers. You pass these policies that lead to our death, and then you get to go to your suburb and you get to have your kids in private schools. You get to just pretend like it didn't happen. And
Right.
I'm so tired of these elected officials thinking that they're the untouchables and
Right.
have our people like worship the ground. Like, screw both of them. Republicans, Democrats, like, you're not going to catch me kissing anybody's butt. And some of them are my friends. Like, I use that really loosely, but even they know, like, if you pass a policy that's going to hurt us, like, I'm coming at you. Like, there's no friendship, there's no loyalty there.
Let's go deeper. And I had a conversation with somebody. You know, I come from a big, I guess, activist family or outspoken family. So I think, and to be honest with you, and I've been to Washington many times. I worked in Washington. I worked for Senator Hatch back in the 90s. So I see a lot of this BS that's going on in Washington. But I think as elected officials, I think just like any other job, they should have some type of performance. And if they're not doing their job, they have to go. And I think they should not be able to serve 40 to 50 years in DC. They should be maximum 2 terms, just like the president. And guess what? After their first term, if they have a shitty performance, they have to go. Bye-bye. I think that's what needs to happen. And a lot of bullshit wouldn't happen. A lot of this bullshit where when you go to DC, you know, you got these lobbyists that say, hey, you know what? You do this for me. I'll pay you this. I'll pay you. You know what I mean? And then they just get watered down and they forget why they went to DC.
Right.
You know what I mean? They forget what they originally went there for. You know what I mean? So, and then they become, now they're a career politician. They really don't care. They just want to line their pocketbooks, like you said, and they want to send their kids to private schools, and they forget about forget about
why they're there.
America. You know what I mean? They forget about middle America. They forget about the little guy. You know, I was just, and it's funny because they sent us the $600, and we have the conversation. $600, keep your fucking $600. What does that even do for me?
Right.
That doesn't pay my mortgage. That probably doesn't pay my car payment.
Give it to a family.
You know what I mean? Like, give it to people. You know what I mean? I just don't understand it. And you know, and then they didn't. There's something about the 2000 or whatever before the new year. They went on vacation. They went on Christmas, and they just didn't. Like I said, I just think that politicians should be graded. Just like if I worked at Walmart, if I did a shitty job, I'm going to get fired.
Probation.
I mean, don't you agree that there should be held to some higher standards than just being there for 40 years and saying, oh, okay, hey, you know what? I made millions. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I definitely think I agree with you. There definitely should be term limits. I also think one thing you didn't mention is there should be a spending limit on campaigns. I don't think that you should be able to put billions and billions and then other people can't. And actually, I believe that each campaign should get equal airtime, like local airtime. Like, you should be able to be on TV at the same amount to get your message out, because that's how a lot of these people get elected. It's not because they're the best for the position. It's because they had the most money to send out the most flyers. And when I actually ran for office in 2018, I discovered so many screwed up things. It's even more why I didn't want to be a Democrat. It's even more put me against the Democrats, because I actually talked to one of our former state representatives here in Michigan, and he was like, yeah, you're qualified. He was like, yeah, you know the people, you're educated. He was like, but your people don't have money, so how are you going to make money to win this campaign?
Wow.
And I was just like, I looked at him.
I
was like, because I'm a Latina woman, like, you don't think that I know anybody with money for one. I was like, and for two, I was like, yeah, it's just it's ridiculous that white people think that they can tell us who should represent us and who's good enough for us. Like, they pick like the good brown indigenous person of color that they want to represent us, but it shouldn't be like that. And I actually asked the politicians here in Detroit, because Detroit, you always have Democrats, right? Like, if a Republican wins, it's never anywhere near close. So I asked them, I was like, I noticed you're spending 25,000, 70,000 on your campaign. I was like, why don't we just come together as Democrats here in Detroit and impose our own like spending cap? Like, we're not going to spend more than 10,000. Like, you're going to have to network. You're going to have to door knock, because you're not going to have, you know, one person that can only afford 5,000 and the other person spends
Right.
2,000. I was like, if we come together, I was like, why can't we do that? And then that way we can make that model for other places as well, because we can shame other Democrats, especially majority Democrat spaces. So you give an opportunity to these so-called grassroots that you keep saying you want us to run, but then when we run, y'all are nowhere to be found, and you're supporting the system, and you're supporting the candidates that are being handpicked by the previous state representative, the previous, you know, whoever was in office. And they all looked at me like, why are you?
We gotta get her out of here.
Yeah, they were like, why are you here? They were like, this is stupid. They couldn't give me any answers why. A lot of the people that I talked to,
you said something that probably everybody's wouldn't say or have the guts to say, and been wanting to say for I don't know how long, probably. And that's crazy.
Yeah, they were just like, it's not ran like that. That's not how we do it. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so you don't want change? I was like, that's what you're telling me. The Democrats are just as much Republicans. Like they're all the same. It's a bunch of talk.
Right. So what is your thoughts on? I know this was a big thing in the media. Warnock wins Georgia's first black senator from Georgia, and also a reverend. What was your thoughts on that? I thought that was a win for Georgia. Definitely a big. I don't want to say, I guess, white state, but definitely big conservative state. What was your thoughts on that of the reverend winning as a seat?
That was due to the black women organizers on the ground. And I was really excited to see that. I'm hoping that the Democratic Party will recognize that. They won't, but I'm hoping they will.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, I'm hoping it gives a signal to the rest of our gente, especially like our Latino people, our indigenous people, that if we come together and we push for this, we can make change. I understand our ancestors did so much and sacrificed so much for us to be here. And they did that so that we could reach a point where we could fight back and we can get what's rightfully ours. We can finally get justice. And that time is now. Like, we've done the waiting game. We've done the changing, you know, we've done the being quiet. Like, gente, no more. Like, this is our time to rise up.
Right.
Okay. Another question. So Donald Trump, I think it was a couple days ago, he finally conceded. He says, yeah, he won, but the election was stole from me, of course. You know, he's got to get that last final word.
Yeah, he couldn't even make.
He did make a statement saying that he's not going to go to the inauguration.
If you want to consider that a statement, I mean,
what was your thoughts of him conceding finally, but not really? You know what I mean? Kind of a sore loser, but at the same time saying, "Hey, I'm not going to an inauguration." Like, there's never been a president not going to the inauguration.
I mean, I think this was a wake-up call for these Trump supporters that kept holding on. Like, no matter what happened, they were like, no, he's a good president. No, he's great. He's this, he's that. Like, this is your proof that this man should have never been elected. He should have never been in that seat. Y'all done messed up. Hopefully we're done with this. And, you know, hopefully he doesn't try to run again or do any of that crazy stuff. But I mean, this is really going to show who America is. I'm glad he lost, because I really didn't think he was. Like, to be 100% honest, I didn't think he was going to lose. But he did. So it did give me a little bit of hope. A little bit of hope. I was like, okay, people are waking up.
So, yeah, he said he's running in 2024. He started in his own party. I guess that's what that he was tweeting about. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? I know that he will try to run again in 2024. I don't think he's going away. You know, so, I mean, what's your thoughts of they starting I don't know what their party's going to be called, but what's your thoughts of them starting their own party?
I think Trump, okay, let's put it this way. During Trump's presidency, he lost the Senate, the House, and the presidency for the Republicans. So I think he didn't want to, but I think he actually did do a lot of good things for this country. He shed a lot of light on the inequities, on the racist problems. Like, this didn't just happen because of Trump. Like, this has always been going on.
Right, for sure.
He created the environment to shed a light and to amplify what is going on and to wake people up. that they needed to do something.
Right. Like
So
we can take back control, you know. And,
yeah, so I think if he starts his own party, that's gonna fuel others to also start their own party, and that's what needs to happen. We do not need this two-party system anymore. So if it takes this evil man to get us out of this damn two-party, and excuse my language, but get out of this two-party system, that's fine with me. That's fine.
Might be for the best.
There might be some. I guess there might be some. I don't want to say good, but there could be some good that comes out of this.
Possibly.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, like I said, we've gotten more support now that we've been doing that Trump's got into office than ever. Before Trump was in office, we had over 3 million people deported under Obama. That's more deportations even than Trump. That the trajectory between Trump and Obama still deported more people, and we were constantly asking for help. We were asking to get the administration under control. We were asking to get ICE under control because ICE should have been abolished. It should have never been started. And we were constantly ignored. We had families torn apart. We had men here for over 30 years that did one thing wrong when he was 19 years old and got deported 30 years later for it. And nobody paid attention. But once Trump started doing it, people started to pay attention. And people started to say, oh, shit, this is wrong. We need to do something else. So, again, if it takes him to shed light on stuff, then we're going through it anyway. We're
and what you mentioned that
it's not going away.
You know, Cindy's a great friend, and you mentioned it, George, you know, got separated, and it was horrible, you know what I mean? So, and he was, you know, he was in Michigan since a child.
Life,
it just didn't make sense, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So, I know it's the police chief stepped down, the DC police chief, or not the DC, I'm sorry, the Capitol police chief stepped down. What was your thoughts on that? It looks like they just basically mishandled the rioters, I believe.
I mean, the police were definitely taking selfies, so I don't think it was mishandled. I think it was very intentional.
My language.
Yeah, we were a laughing stock to literally the entire world.
And that's funny you say that, because there was so
embarrassing
Osama meme that said all I had to do was walk up to the door.
Yeah.
See, and then to go back that far, go to that. Come, I mean, like, wow, where, you know, only in America,
then, you know, and then there's, you know, some of the I think one of them got the Capitol Police got beat. The guy got, you know, he died. I mean, just craziness. And I think maybe that's why he stepped down. I just was trying to get your thoughts
too
on
much.
The reason why. I mean, I think he was just like, oh my God, I fucked up.
Never thought he'd see the day of that for that.
I don't think it was his conscience. It was like other people that were like, look, somebody's got to take the fall for this. And guess what? It's you. Most of these people don't have a conscience. Like, to be in that field, to be in that position, like they don't have a conscience. At least not when it comes to things like that.
Right. So last political question. So Nancy has private sessions with senators, congressmen, whatever, congresswomen. They're talking about impeachment. So there's never been a president that has tried to been impeached twice. So she wants to invoke the 25th Amendment. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, he's got 12 days left. 12 days.
Doesn't matter. Because then the second impeachment actually comes with a lot more into it. He's no longer going to be paid. That's a big one, because once you're president, you're paid for like the rest of your life. So he won't be able to. He also won't be able to run again.
Right.
Which is huge, which we talked about. He might do the third party. Yeah, he might do the third party under like one of his kids, which I mean is whatever. But I think there are enough repercussions to definitely impeach him again that we need. He definitely does not need that money from us. You staged a coup for our country. You made us the laughing stock. Mishandlement of this virus, like everything that he's done, he does not deserve that salary, and he definitely doesn't deserve to be able to run again.
And I think you touched on it, that he doesn't get to run again. He loses the presidency salary or whatever when you retire, and he also loses the protection as well. Is correct?
Yeah.
So So does he? I'm not
He'll
saying
get
that
his
he's going
own
to be
though. He'll take care
assassinated,
of
but
that, so.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you hire
I mean-
your own bodyguards now? Because I mean, definitely you have crazy.
He's got enough money.
He's always. I
fine.
mean, he's always had. I'm sure he's
Yeah,
always.
he's
had
got
I'm
bodyguards.
just wondering. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't thinking of protecting any of the Latinos when he put a target on our back. How many
Right.
people were killed in the El Paso Walmart shooting? He didn't give a
Right.
shit. You know, he's never protected any of our people. While our people were dying without ventilators due to the virus, like he didn't care. He wasn't trying to protect anybody.
Right.
So my thing is like he can do whatever he wants. That's not our job to think for him because he wasn't thinking for us this entire time.
Right. All right. So last question for you. Vaccines are, slowly rolling out. Are you taking the vaccine? Are you going to wait? Are you not taking it? Is your organization? I know there's some organizations that are actually helping administrate it or give it. I mean, are you taking it? What's your thoughts on it?
I'm gonna personally wait.
Okay.
Our people have not had the greatest history with vaccinations in this country. So I'm gonna wait and see what happens. When you come from a low socioeconomic area, you have less access to healthcare. Therefore,
So I'm going to interrupt you right here real quick. So why is that, the urban areas are so mistrusting in vaccinations? Now, Alex touched on it last week. Hank Aaron, which is a baseball player, very famous baseball record before it was broken, a home run hitter. He, reached out to a lot of black people and said, look, I took it. You got to trust it, so I'll let you talk again. I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell you about that real quick, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's because so any vaccination, you're putting a little bit of this virus in your body, right?
Correct.
To build. So again, when you're from a low socioeconomic background and you don't have access to healthcare, your immune system is more compromised than these folks that are living in suburban areas that have quick access to doctors, that have hospitals that are not overflowing, that have like all of this grade A medical attention. So if anything goes wrong, they can call a doctor right away, right? They can go into a hospital. They can be seen like this. We go to our hospitals down here at Henry Ford, like they're like, oh, your head's gashing.
Right.
Like
We got to go. Yeah, you got to go to the ER, wait 5 hours, and then get a $5,000 bill.
Exactly. You can't breathe. They think you're faking it. Like, unfortunately, there's a lot of racism within our health system as well. So you're like, oh, I can't breathe. They're like, oh, they just want pills. That's what they want. Like, we're not giving them anything. So I think that plays heavily into my role living in Southwest Detroit. We have marathon, all of the fumes here. I have asthma. COVID attacks your lungs. So that's something that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to see how other people react first that have like the health conditions that I have before I dive into that. I'm not the most healthy person. I've had health complications in the past. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait it out. I'm definitely trying to be careful, like staying in more and quarantining. And I encourage people to continue to quarantine, especially if you're not getting the vaccine, to take care of yourself.
For sure.
But yeah, I would definitely get it at some point if other people like seem to be okay. But I'm not gonna be in first in line for it.
You're not gonna be first in line. So so we're talking, maybe fall of this year, maybe, or
possibly. I would say anywhere 6 months to a year of me needing to see first.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think I was looking at fall. I know my kids, my ex-wife was talking about maybe the summertime because we want, my daughter's going to be a senior next year. So we want them to go back to regular. I have a friend that has a senior now, and I hate that she's not able to, it's more virtual here, but that she's not able to experience a senior. You know what I mean? So it's just tough. I think I saw it on the news the other day how much it affects adults even, but as children, it's affecting them. From depression to them hurting themselves. You know what I mean? Because they're not able to, you don't know how bad this COVID is affecting our children.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's why we have our youth program. And at first we were totally 100% online, and then just seeing them not being able to go to school, a lot of our youth do come into our office now, and that's actually why we're really kicking into gear and trying to get our office finished, because we have like a pretty big space, so we try to social distance them as much as possible, but this is their space where they're able to come and they're able to like escape, you know, whatever is going on in the house.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, and then like I said, we have a lot of youth that do have asthma. They have issues, respiratory issues. So there are a lot of parents that have told us like, no, we're not gonna get them vaccinated right away.
Right. Makes sense. So I think that we're pretty much done with the political segment. So if you need to jump off, we appreciate it. Go ahead and plug the organization one more time. Tell them where they can find you, where they can find the organization. Yeah, we're gonna jump into sports, and I don't know if you want to stay on, but you're more than welcome. But we want to thank you again. Thank you again for coming.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you for sure.
Thank you. So yeah, if you want to get a hold of us, the number 1michigan.org is our website. You can also look us up on Facebook, spelled out One Michigan for immigrant rights. If you need to shoot us an email, info@onemichigan.org. There is a donation link on our website. So if you'd like to donate, there's also a volunteer form. So if you'd like to come in or you want to do some social media stuff, we have all kinds of volunteer opportunities. If you have any youth that want to join the program that are here in the Detroit area, sign them up. Usually it's 14 to 24, but we have taken on younger youth that really are passionate about social justice issues. They've joined as young as 8 years old. So if you want to message us, please message us. And I appreciate you both for having me on today.
Sure. Thank you for coming.
All right. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks, Samantha. You have a good day.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Stay
God
safe.
bless.
Bye.
Well, I mean, we covered a lot of politics, and I know that that's your favorite subject, right?
Oh, I love it. Love it.
So did you party too much last night?
No.
You know,
No.
I couldn't go to sleep, man. I was working on some stuff. I'll send you actually I could send you the flyer for our show tomorrow. So we have a special show on tomorrow. I definitely everybody want to tune in. A little girl, 15 years old, and my heart just cries out, dude, because you have a 16-year-old, I have a 17-year-old.
Right.
This girl is 16 now. Just missing, man, for I think they said 67 days now.
Yeah, since November 1st. Yeah.
November 1st. Just sad. So we got a show tomorrow.
Yeah, I came across the I think it was her sister asked to be tagged in the post that I posted yesterday, and I clicked on and I seen the picture of her and her sister, and I started to read a little bit of her post, and I had to stop. I
Yeah, stop.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to cry, man, and I teared up after just reading like a quarter of that post, and yeah, I mean, I just had to put my phone down. I couldn't even read no more because it's just so sad, and
Right.
hopefully, we can help tomorrow, just in any way, and
Right.
hopefully bring her home, man. Just
Right.
it's a tough
So
situation. So I
the
can't
mom,
even
I
imagine.
saw that she jumped on this morning. She gave some updates.
Okay.
So, of course, she's they're still looking.
Right.
They got some tips. But if anybody has any information about Gloria Alvarado, please speak up. 1-800-SPEAK UP. Please call in. Don't wait, like the mother was saying. Don't wait 2 days. Don't wait a week. Call immediately.
Right.
So just make sure that we're trying to bring this. We're trying to bring her home. So definitely, if you see her, definitely make that phone call. And then reach out to the mother, inbox her, whatever you got to do to bring Gloria home. So that's going to be Showcase Sunday. We're going to probably do that once in a while if we have a special show. Definitely we have Spotlight Wednesday and then a regular show on Saturday. So let me dive into what we got here. Some sports. So once again, I want to thank Samantha for jumping on. So Tommy Lasorda, I sent you an audio clip passed yesterday. 93. You know, I thought he was a lot younger, but yeah, I forget that, you know, he was a manager in the 70s and 80s or whatever.
Started in 76. He started.
Yeah. Man, he had I was listening to some of the audio clips. He had some really great media clips, you know, fuck you, son of a bitch, and you know, you motherfucker. He was you know, he didn't really care what people thought. You know what I mean?
He was like the Bobby Knight of
of baseball.
Yeah, and everybody loved him. You know, everybody loved it.
Yeah. I have a buddy that's a big Phillies fan, and he sent me a clip. And I guess he beat the shit out of the Phillies mascot because he was making fun of
yeah, that's classic.
Yeah, because he had like the not the bobblehead, but he had like a dummy, and he started, you know, the mascot was beating the shit out of Tommy Lasorda's dummy, and he went out there and started kicking his ass.
Yeah, that was classic. Oh man.
Yeah. But I guess he was like he was definitely not a fan of the Phillies. So Brian, if you're listening, he I guess he couldn't stand the Phillies. So
well, he signed with the Phillies. I mean, he was you know, and you know, undrafted free agent, and when he first came into the league and stuff like that. But yeah, 2-time World Series champion, 88, 81 and 88, 2-time manager of the year in 83 and 88.
Right.
Got his number 2 jersey retired, and yeah, man, guy was a legend. And you know, when you thought about managers and back then, I mean, there was, you know, Sparky Aneursym, Tommy Lasorda, you know, like those were just the head honchos back then. So
right.
Trying to think of a couple other ones, but my mind that I mean that was really it. I mean, can you think of any other managers that were, you know, as big as,
you know, when I think like of Lasorda, I think of Kurt Gibson hitting the home run, of course,
right.
And then I don't know if you remember Chevy Chase and Fletch. He's like, "Is that you and Tommy Lasorda?" And he goes, and he was arrested by the chief of police in Fletch, and he's like, "That you with Tommy Lasorda?" He's like, "Yeah." You know, it was signed autograph. He's like, "I hate fucking Tommy Lasorda," and he fucking punches the pitcher. And you know, Chevy Chase is a big Lakers fan or whatever. So I always thought that was funny because he punches the pitcher and he's like, "I hate fucking Tommy Lasorda." So you know, I guess Tommy had a lot of haters, but you know, a lot of people loved him, especially in LA.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You know, I just think it's pretty sad, but definitely a legend. You know, that was passed. So
Brooklyn Dodgers, all that good stuff.
Yeah, right. So jumping on to NCAA football. So you got the national championship coming up, Ohio versus Alabama. Who you got? I got Alabama, of course, but I can't stand Ohio State.
Yeah, I got to go with Nick Saban. Alabama, yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, that should be a good one though, for sure. But yeah, I'll take Bama.
Hold on real quick. I'm getting a text here.
Go ahead.
No, Jew was texting me and I was telling him to hold on. Lost my train of thought. So you said you got Alabama or Ohio State? I'm sorry.
Alabama.
Okay. So Alabama, Devon Smith won he's the Heisman winner. You know, I didn't watch much college football. I mean, I did watch, you know, some Alabama games, some Ohio State games. How good is this DeVonta Smith?
Oh, he's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
Is he going number one, or is it the Ohio State quarterback is going number one?
I don't know if he'll go number one. I was looking at the the mock draft and all that. I think I lost it, but yeah, I was trying to find it, but I was trying to look at Todd McShay's mock draft, but I don't know if he'll go number one. Like I said, I haven't really paid attention to the who's got what picks. I kind of just been stuck on the Lions number 7 and kind of is hoping they would either move down or move up and all that. But I don't know. I'd actually have to do a little bit of research on that. But yeah, he's legit, man. That's for sure. Yeah. He won like every award this past year. Walter Camp Award, Maxwell Award, Paul Horn. I can't even pronounce that name. Horning award. Yeah, like I said, he's won pretty much every award this past year, and as you know, he's a freshman, true freshman in Bama for 2017. Yeah, I mean, and he's on Bama's team, so that's why I'm going with him. I mean, so
Right.
but
So
yeah, he's definitely the real deal. I'm just trying to look at some stuff on him.
some stats.
Yeah. Bama Smith had 8 receptions in 2017, 160 yards. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much, you know, scoring 3 touchdowns every game, man, putting up well over 100 yards with ease, like
Right.
So yeah.
So I know you text me, and then I saw the article. Michigan, Jim Harbaugh is signing near signing a 5-year extension
Right.
with the lower base. First, I've got to say that. Why? Let me play this.
Fucking bullshit!
So that's what I got to say to that. One more time to Jim Harbaugh.
Fucking bullshit!
So yeah, that's what I got to say to that. So what's your thoughts on that? Because that's fucking bullshit.
Well, you know, we talked about it like, gosh, I don't know what episode that was. It was about maybe a month or two ago or something like that. And
Right.
I mean, I was kind of up in the air.
I mean,
with
he's
it.
taking a lower base pay, but who gives a fuck? The guy,
Right.
I don't know. I just think he needs to go away.
Yeah, I mean, like they said, like, you know, he hasn't beat State in the time
Right.
he's been here.
Right.
He hasn't done nothing. He hasn't.
Yeah,
we
nothing.
I mean, they've backpedaled. You know, he's, you know, if anything. But like I said, I was up in the air with when you first asked me a while back if he's
Right.
gonna leave. I mean, what my answer was to that question at the time was I thought he would leave because that's just like almost the right thing to do. But like
Right.
I said, he means so much to the alumni. I mean,
The
like
alumni.
and as far as you know, I'm trying to think of the word, you know, recruiting, you know, players and stuff
Right.
like that. That alone right there is just huge for Michigan. So, and that was
Well,
like,
you know what? Jim's on the line. You know what he just said?
what?
I ain't scared of you motherfuckers.
And he ain't scared of nobody, but I don't know, man. I mean, this is probably one of the craziest things that Michigan's ever done. So I don't.
Right.
I mean, what can you do? You know, there was talk about him maybe coming back to the NFL, and I'm
Right.
sure some NFL.
You know, I
organizations
just
were
want to
reaching
tell you,
out to him.
I hate this fucking green screen behind me because the other browser's not working. But go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was wondering why you didn't have.
No,
Should've put a picture
because
of-
the other browser only works with the green screen. But
Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know, man. Well, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens in the next 5 years. I guess I was a little surprised. I wasn't shocked, but you know,
right,
they love the guy, man.
they love the guy.
So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed another 5-year deal after this one, or even
Oh my
before
God.
it's up. But so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They obviously got a lot of invested into him, and
Right.
I don't know. I don't even
Yeah.
really.
I mean, they're basically sucking his cock because if he's coming
Yeah,
back.
I just want to sit back and see what happens. You know.
All right. So
See if
jumping on over to the
anything
NBA.
changes.
So last night, I don't know if you watched the highlights, but oh my fucking God, Detroit won in overtime.
Right. Yeah.
So they beat the Suns. Did you catch any of the game? Did you catch any of the
I
game?
listened to
Or
a
did you
little
listen to
bit.
the game?
I was doing a couple things, so I was just listening to
Because the
it.
Suns,
and,
I mean, the Suns they got a pretty good record, man. They only lost a couple games.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, they look pretty good.
Yeah, they got Chris Paul over there doing his thing. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, they got now they're
And the Pistons pulled it off.
they're 2-7 along with the Wizards and Raptors.
Oh my
At
God.
the bottom, at the very bottom. But yeah, I mean,
Very bottom.
hey, a win's a win. You never so.
A win is a win. You know what? If they win tomorrow, what's that called?
It's called a fucking winning streak. Right? Major league or what?
Yeah.
Win
So,
two. It's called a
So
winning
NFL playoff kicks off today. A lot of good games going around. Wild cards.
streak. Oh yeah.
And finally football playoffs. I know there's a lot of people excited.
And what
So-
games are on today? I know the Bills. I'm looking forward to that Bills game for sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
Can't believe I like the Bills. I'm like actually rooting for
I
them.
believe
mean,
you like the Bills. You know, I've
they might be the upset. They
been
might
to
go
Buffalo.
further. Go ahead. Oh, you froze. You're frozen. Frozen tag. You're it.
You're it. There you go.
Okay, you're back.
Michigan quietly undefeated, 10-0. What is your thoughts, man? My dick's hard right now.
Damn. Kept that to yourself, but my thoughts are I mean they really haven't played, you know what I mean? Really haven't played nobody up until now. They're playing Illinois. They play Illinois tomorrow. So that'll be a pretty good test right there. We're ranked. Michigan's ranked number 10, and Illinois is ranked 12. They're undefeated at home, so that should be a good game tomorrow. A good test for them tomorrow. Good test for them tomorrow. But yeah, I mean now they're getting into the nitty gritty as far as playing good teams. But I mean, yeah, everybody's hanging their hat on the the Harbaugh story, and everything, which is a big deal. But yeah, quietly under the radar, man. Juwan Howard's doing a great job over there. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy to see that. That sometimes that tends not to work out. When a player comes back to coach or gets involved in. But yeah, he's doing a great. I mean, they got a good team. There was I forgot who was that did a bracket, whatever. They got Michigan, winning it, going to the Final Four like
there you
already.
Go. You know what? If they go to the Final Four, we're doing a live podcast from there. You're coming. We're going to the game. I'm just letting you know.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely be down for that, man.
Yeah,
I got some time put up. I'll keep it in my back pocket for sure, because that'll that'll be huge. Michigan State. Obviously I'm a Michigan fan, Wolverine fan, but I am a huge fan of Tom Izzo. He's just a great guy in general, and great coach, and they're struggling a little bit over there too. But Tom Izzo always gets his team prepared, and there hasn't been a season that they haven't dealt with some struggles or some injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, I just love Tom Izzo he's just a hell of a coach and stuff. So we'll see what happens with them. I got to talk a little bit about State, man. I don't want.
Oh, that's cool. So let's move on to entertainment. Cardi B, and tell me a little bit. I don't know who put that up. Maybe you did. Warned Vince McMahon after WWE segment. Count your fucking days. What happened there? I missed that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I was actually on Twitter, and I came across it, and I just seen her just being Cardi B, and
Cardi B.
So what happened was they had a Legends show Monday.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the former Hall of Famers, some of the legends came back, and how they implement them into the show. And there was one of the wrestlers that he was trying to hit on, a female wrestler, Tori Wilson, and he tried to get.
I love Tori Wilson,
and she still looks good. Drop dead gorgeous. Oh yeah, she looks better. She looks better now at her age than she did then.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll send you a little.
God, you know how many times I had her Playboy and.
Oh man. Yeah. I had that Playboy too, I think. Yeah. But
because when you were younger and this happened.
Like a pussy make you brave, man.
So what happened? So what happened was one of the wrestlers tried to give her a rose, and she told him Cardi B is go in the room, give it to Cardi B. She's in the room over there. So he was like, "Oh, for real? Okay." So he went into the room, and Cardi B wasn't there. She wasn't on the show.
Okay.
Boogeyman came out of nowhere.
He said Boogeyman.
He looked so freaky, man. With the worms.
That's crazy.
The guy eats the worms and all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
So freaked him out and all that. So some of the female wrestlers were texting tweeting to Cardi B. Tweeting. And she was started at. So she said, wait, what's going on? People keep tagging me in WWE stuff. So Melina said the one she said Melina ? The one that used to do the splits and entering the ring. I liked her. And then so she just started tweeting,
Okay.
like just off the wall, stuff. And she actually tweeted Sasha Banks, who is Snoop Dogg's cousin, and she said, "I like her a lot. Obviously she's got the boss gimmick, the rapper type, hip hop type gimmick." And so people were asking her, do you still watch WWE, or did you watch The Rock when you were younger? And sent her a video of The Rock, and she said, "Nah, I was still too young when he was on. I started watching when Booker T, Eddie Guerrero." She was a big fan of Eddie Guerrero, her being her being Latina and all that stuff. So
yeah, lying, stealing, baby.
Triple H, Batista, John Cena, Edge. So she started naming some people and all that. She said, "Okay, no more WWE tweets. I haven't watched it in years. I was just confused on all the WWE tweets, and I was getting before this last thing. I heard about a sexy wrestler named Carmella, and then she said, what the fuck? This is not how my WWE debut was supposed to be. Vince McMahon, count your fucking days." So
Wow.
you can't, man. You know what? You can't mess with Cardi B, bro. She's just when it comes to social media, she's on a whole different level, man. But
right.
If WWE can, take advantage of that, and I mean, she got 80 million followers, bro. And if for her, if they can ever get her on a show, maybe a WrestleMania or something, I mean, that's
that'd be great.
Huge right there. So I just thought that was pretty funny.
So Cardi B was like,
"Oh, well, allow me to retort."
Exactly. So yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
So Kim and Kanye, marriage counseling, divorces on the table.
Who's that?
Kanye and
I don't know who those people are. Okay. No.
What's your thoughts on fucking wackos?
She's free. Kim Kardashian is free. That's my thoughts.
That's awesome. So you know what? You might have a chance.
Damn. So you're saying there's a chance? No, I seen it.
Saying there's a chance.
I seen the story on TMZ, but it's like up in the air, I guess. I heard, but
well, Jeffree Star, the saying that I guess he killed the rumors that he was dating. So I thought, is Kanye West bisexual? Rumors that he was dating this social media guy, Jeffree Star.
What?
I don't know, just bizarro shit, dude.
I don't know. Jesus.
Yeah. I think all the Kardashians, all these fucking people are
losers. Always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Losers. That's what I think they are. Losers. But yeah, just Kanye West and Kim are I'm just tired of seeing them. So on the sadder news, but kind of good. So Dr. Dre in the middle of the week, after he won I guess Esposo, and then I read that he's giving her the money. I don't know. Just very bizarre. Mm-hmm. This is probably why he fucking got an aneurysm. I don't know. So he goes to the hospital. He's home now. God bless, he's home. And I mean, if we lost another legend in 2021, man. I was like, oh my God.
I couldn't take that one, man. Not Dr. Dre, man.
God, I gotta post it.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. That was like when you sent me the story, I set up. That made me sit up, man. Like, whoa.
He said that made
Dre, man.
Right.
Yeah. Like, oh no. I mean, that's I mean, he definitely had God by his side there, man, with the aneurysm, because that shit ain't no joke. Years ago, I worked with a friend. He was really, really nice guy, very young, man. He passed away because of that. And
right. Yeah,
it's very scary.
Mike's sister, little Mike's sister, she died of an aneurysm. So.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah.
God, I just went blank. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that though. Yeah. Definitely.
No, I just went blank. But Ines Garcia, our cousin, she died of aneurysm, which is Sylvia's mom. She died.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So the last thing I wanted to touch on, and I know I watched it as a kid because it was kind of like a Skinamax kind of thing. What the Police Academy star Marion Ramsey, which was Officer Hooks. You remember the black lady that had that like mousy voice? She passed, dude. Yeah, she passed. That was kind of sad. I loved her in Police Academy. Dude.
I watched those. My favorite one was Citizens on Patrol.
Citizens on Patrol.
Or was that the one? Well, when they had like the 3 villains, I think that was part 5. Part 5. No, that was part 5. I think. Yeah,
part 5.
But that was my favorite.
I would play a clip, but the damn, like I said, this browser.
Oh yeah, she was so funny, man. She was so likable character because she would, she
remember because when she would get mad, she would get all.
Well, she would try to write a ticket, and excuse me, sir, you can't park there, and then she would. We're like, I said, move it or something.
Move it, motherfucker!
Or she would pull out the bullhorn,
Yeah. And she passed. I mean, like I said, I used to love police academies.
Oh yeah.
They kind of got dumb after like 4 or 5, but
right.
Love those
classics,
early 80s. Like I said, they had a lot of not porn, but they had a lot of skin in that.
Yeah.
What's her name from?
Oh yeah, the blonde hair.
Yeah, the blonde. I forgot her name, but yeah, there were a lot of fucking and all that.
She'd be in the gym,
and
working out, and all the guys like she'd be lifting more weights than the guys. That shit was funny.
Yeah.
All the guys looking at her and stuff like that, dropping weights.
So don't forget to once again thank Samantha for jumping on One Michigan. Tomorrow, tune in. We're gonna have an interview with Gloria's mom. Or Gloria's mom, Tina Alvarado. So we're gonna have a live show with her, telling her story, what actually happened, and hopefully it helps trying to get Gloria home. And I wanted to play the YouTube video, so I'm gonna try to get this browser fixed and figure out what's going on, so we can play videos again. So, anything else you want to talk about before we bounce?
Nope. Just hopefully everybody tunes in tomorrow. And just shows their support and love, and hopefully we can make any difference. And just like you said, trying to bring her home. And no, that's really all I got, man. Just everybody be safe, take care of each other.
Yep. Mask up, wash your hands,
stay inside if you got
social
to.
distance.
Yeah, just that's it, man.
All right, let me play this video, brother. Let me get out of here.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Whoever did. If you didn't, see you tomorrow.
All right, man. Peace out. Stay safe.
Yep.